Sounds good. Well, it was a really good basketball team. You know, Vic's done a really good job here getting great athletes that are really talented. The physicality of the game, I don't know if it's different if you play it in a different gym. I'm not sure. But I think the first half, we fouled 10 times, they fouled twice. I don't know if that's really indicative of how we both were playing. But these guys are really elite defensively before and after the catch. You know, their physicality, they can stick with it. And then they have elite offensive players that you know, that can win their 1v1 matchup. So we had stretches where we just kind of lost our focus and allowed them to get a little bit too deep, whether that was off a dribble or a catch, and coupled that with some careless turnovers. You know, we don't turn the ball over typically that much. So we knew we had to play really well at their gym. They're playing really well right now, and we just didn't play well enough, unfortunately. So a lot to learn from and grow from.
Coach, you obviously have an elite team. At what point in the game did Texas just start to overwhelm? Because there was a point where I don't know, you could have come back, but
Yeah.
what was it about? Was it the defense? What was it about them that just was stifling?
You know, it's two-way. It's what I love about basketball. It's so fluid. So it's never really one end. You know, we knew we had to be good on both ends, and I think there were stretches where we weren't. I mean, we were trying to run around screens. We were trying to put the ball on the floor, and the physicality was unbelievable. You know, and so I don't know if that happens the same way the second time out. I don't know in terms of how the refs wanted that game to go, in terms of how they were going to call actions and defensive touches. But you know, I felt like it's a team you want to play again because it's just good basketball. Like you said, two really good teams. So I hope we have a chance to play them again. Neutral site.
Coach, do you feel like in some ways you have to pick your poison when you're defending them, especially when, you know, Jordan Lee has come on to add Rory and Madison and Kyla?
I mean, yeah, to have a fifth-year senior point guard, we're the seventh youngest team in Division I basketball. So I would really love to have any fifth-year kid would be great. You know, so yeah, she sort of really is the engine of that team on both ends, and so it allows everybody else to kind of fall into their rhythm. And then Booker can be a difficult guard. She draws a lot of contact, I guess. I don't know. I wasn't playing the game, but she gets a lot of spot-up fouls called, which lets her get to the free throw line. You know, which is hard. She went to the free throw line 11 times. I mean, we're pretty sound defensively. We weren't trying to block her shot. So you know, so that's where I'll leave that.
For Indya and Courtney, obviously turnovers generating transition game has been big early in the season. Season low 8. What was the difference today? Just couldn't deal with their screens and their motion offense as well.
I mean, they don't make a lot of passes, so you're gonna have to rake it from them, right? It's not a lot of passing teams. It's one pass to score. Rory Spence, she's ball dominant, so she's got the ball in her hands a lot, and then you're either going for Booker or to Lee off either a simple pin down or a floppy or something. So there's just not a lot of passes, you know. So this team you have to beat with 1v1 defense, and you have to play through physicality or not, depending on how the game's called.
Yeah, what Coach said. I also think like with the foul calls, we had to be more tentative on playing more solid defense. So we couldn't be as aggressive as we usually are. Yeah.
I'm dying to know where you picked up your fourth foul, Indya.
Right. I don't know.
But
What went so well in the first quarter? Everything seemed to be going well, and then it kind of shifted. Was there a change that Texas made, or just the way the game flowed?
I think it's two good teams, you know. So if you're a Carolina fan, you say you had a good first and fourth quarter. If you're a Texas fan, you say you liked the second and third. It's just two good teams, you know. You know, when you have two heavyweights going at it, and obviously the home environment is helpful, right? And so everything they do well feels really good, and everything you don't do well feels really bad, right? And so that's the beauty of these heavyweight programs, is that you have a true home environment. Vic's done a great job with that, and it's just fun to play the really good teams. I mean, this is fun, and it'll make us better for sure. And of course, we wish we would have been better during stretches in the second and third because I think you can win. You can learn by winning too. But we just weren't sharp enough, and the film will help this team a lot, I think.
Courtney, what was your impression on just the kind of the depth that they have in the paint with, Kyla and Justice are coming off the bench. That was your impression on that depth down there?
Yeah, I mean, I think he likes having stuff off his bench. I think that's why they're not starting. I think they're probably starters. If you look at who's in during the game pressure minutes, it's them, right? Against any, whether it was UCLA, us, or South Carolina. And so what they played 8 tonight, I think that's usually 8 or 9 really good players is about what you need, and so he's done a really good job getting his 8 or 9, right? And I think we have an 8 or 9 too, and not our 8 and 9 didn't play as well as their 8 and 9. Just the way it goes. Yeah.
It kind of shifted in the second quarter when they brought Oldacre in. What kind of problems does she present with her size?
Yeah, she's a big body, right? And so they have an opportunity. You can defend them really well through the clock, and then they can just throw it inside, sort of like they used to do with Shaquille O'Neal. You can do a lot of good defense, and then it's 5 seconds on the shot clock, and they just throw it inside, right? And now you're 3 inches from the rim, and you're the tallest kid on the court. It's a nice advantage to have.
Early on, you were getting to the rim a lot, particularly Elena, but did they make adjustments? You just couldn't do that the rest of the game as effectively.
We did. I mean, I thought we only took 11 threes, and, we took 49 shots. So I think we did keep going to the rim. Didn't finish at times, lower possession because we turned the ball over more so. So I think we showed that I think we can score. I don't think we're better than we were when we played South Carolina, but we can take them. I feel good about our ability to take them off the dribble. I felt like Indya got 18 points, right, and only one of them was a 3. Elena doesn't take perimeter shots, and she had 16. So I thought we got to the rim fine.
You also started so great beating their press and scoring in fast break or in transition. Did you feel like that was a vulnerability that you could, carry on the rest of the game?
Yeah, we like if you extend the court, because I think one of our strengths is we have a lot of good players, much like Texas. So that if you lengthen the court, there's more room to make plays, right? Whereas if you shrink it, you're playing more in a crowd. So we have multiple ball handlers. So it wasn't their press. I think we had 1 turnover against their press.
And then we have time for one last question back here.
Coach, the $1 million question. So you said you wanted to play them again, which would be a fantastic game.
We sure would.
What would you do differently? Or it might be too early to ask you that question, but what would you do differently?
I think I have to probably watch the film a little bit more, and I think I also have to figure out, on those floppy moving screens, and on our, when they're on our hips, I don't quite get why the discrepancy was what it is. So I have to sort of get my arms wrapped around that as well. And so, I think maybe a neutral site helps with that. Just the natural, we're all humans, right? And so when everyone in Texas is cursing at you for making a foul call, you're a little hesitant to make the next one, right? So, I think it'll just be. I told these guys in here, like, you should be disappointed, right? We don't play basketball games to lose them, But what really stinks as a coach is when your team's not good, right? And that's not what I'm dealing with. I've got a really good team that is really young. So every minute, we have 2 seniors, we have 3 upperclassmen in a uniform, and so that's pretty remarkable for how much growth. So the 10 games from now, we'll be a lot older. Of course. Thanks, guys.